Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is June 7th, and right now we're looking at the visible satellite imagery. Check out the storm system out over the Gulf of Alaska, but you notice it is far enough away that it's causing ridging and some nice weather. Look at the severe clear across a lot of the area here, just some high level clouds moving across the region. Look at all the nice snow capped mountains here on the GOES 18 satellite imagery across British Columbia, down Washington. You can see Mount Rainier if you zoom in far enough, and you can see some snow across some of the Cascades of Oregon. Looks like that's Mount Hood right there, some of the blue mountains out there. So yeah, pretty interesting day out there, as well as pretty prime dust level conditions out there across eastern Washington. If you just happen to be driving around out there, you want to go take a look, find a dusty field out there between about noon and 4 p.m. and watch the dust levels rolling across some of the fields. There might be some pretty big boys out there as well today. Pretty prime conditions. Very warm June summer sun at this time of year. And take a look here for Siskiyou, Klamath, and Lake counties down across southern Oregon, northern California. Some strong winds with the thunderstorm activity here as we go through today and Saturday afternoon. Gusts to 60 miles per hour, occasional cloud to ground lightning here. And when thunder roars, go indoors and watch for those dark skies there, eyes on the sky. Looking at Seattle, Tacoma, you can see 72 degrees yesterday. What a glorious day it was out there, and we're going to be a little bit warmer today, with again lots of sunshine, as you saw on the visible satellite imagery. And that's going to be the case across much of the entire Pacific Northwest. Spokane, talking about isolated thunderstorms developing Sunday, and this could impact some other areas as well. And I'll show you that here more in a moment. Lightning, winds, small hail, kind of the threat there. Maybe some blowing dust out there late afternoon, evening on Sunday. Take a look at the wave action. You can see with the big storm out over the Pacific Ocean, it'll eventually shed some of that wave action towards the coastal areas here as we go through the day Sunday. So just a little bit of a bump, nothing too crazy out there. Then we kind of relax those waves here along a lot of the coastal areas. This is mostly wind-driven stuff out there. It looks like across some of Northern California, Southern Oregon there. But yeah, we should be wrapping up on the big wave action here as we go on in towards the next week, actually, at some point. But if you want a nice, affordable home weather station, this thing has a great thermometer with it. It's got all solar powered. It's ultrasonic anemometer, haptic rain gauge here, and it sends this app updates here right to your smartphone. So a very highly recommended station here, especially for the price. Click on that link down below if you want to save 10% off. And just a reminder here, this is Pendleton, Oregon, talking about if you want to become a Skywarn certified weather observer out there, you can go to one of these classes here. You can see Thursday, June 13th at 6:30 p.m. Benton County Emergency Services Building. They got the address here and everything. The cost is free. It's about 2 hours there, and you can learn a lot about weather here. So you can help out the National Weather Service and become a spotter. Your chance is now. Take a look at the European on the left versus the GFS on the right. Put this into motion, and you can see that ridge hanging on for a bit here across Pacific Northwest. But then we want to turn things a bit more zonal. Both the GFS and the European, about 108 hours or so, are in good agreement of this occurring. You see the troughing across some of western British Columbia. No doubt it's going to be trying to bring back precipitation, but look at the GFS really wants to swing a pretty powerful, let's call it a polar lobe here, pretty quick. And then the European not far behind it, but you can see the GFS wants to really bring this troughing all the way down the west coast of North America, with the differences starting to emerge here as we go through the 8-9 day time period. So that'll be something fun to watch over the next few days. Taking a look at the European model, last night's run, we're going to put this into motion. And you can see as we go through the afternoon today, there is a thunderstorm chance across some of the Oregon Cascades in eastern Oregon, Nevada, southern Idaho as well. And as we scroll on in through Saturday, check it out. You can see a little bit of shower activity popping off across the Cascades, more across Oregon here. And then as we go on in towards Sunday, check it out. So there's some showers moving across some of western Washington and the Cascades, eastern Oregon, eastern Washington as we go through the afternoon hours. Some of those could be thunderstorms here. So I'll be watching that closely tomorrow. We'll pay more attention to that when we get some of these high resolution models a little bit more in range for that. So there is thunderstorm potential here as we go to a little bit of a change there Sunday. You can see that precipitation kicking across some of Idaho and Montana as we go on in towards the day Monday as well. If we take a look at the lightning flash density potential, I'm going to move my cursor so you can see it there. But as we go through this afternoon, some across Oregon. Saturday, something similar here as well. It does show a little bit, I believe, across the Cascades, just a hair. And then as we go through Sunday, better chances here as we go through the day Sunday for something across the Cascades and eastern Washington, northern portions of Idaho at that point. So looking at today, 76. Again, the high yesterday was 72. So you're going to take yesterday and even make it warmer. Glorious day across the region there for Seattle. Portland, look at that. Mid 80s, some upper 80s showing up for some of southern Oregon here, even some 90s out there, and maybe some 90-degree readings for eastern Washington, eastern Oregon. We go on in through Saturday. Look at that, 80 for Seattle, low 80s for Portland, 90s east of the Cascades, and then we get a Sunday. A little bit of a cool down coming there as we bring that system through here, but we should warm up through the afternoon hours for most areas. There's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then you can see that next trough potentially moving through during that time frame here as we cool things down. Again, that's a ways out in the forecast, so we have a lot of time to watch that coming up here. If we look at Seattle, again, you can kind of see this roller coaster ride come through here, and maybe that trophy moving through mid-month. Some of that precipitation showing up at times in the mid-month period here as well. And this is more, this is last night. It's a little bit up closer. And this is for Sunday. That weak system that does move through, some of that is showing up on the ensemble members as bringing us some precipitation here to portions of western Washington. Again, we're going to look at that a little bit closer here tomorrow and see how the models change on that. Here's the 6 to 10 day. You can see they've scaled back some of these temperatures here as we go through mid-month. Again, that troughing potential is there, and just a hint of some above average maybe as we go through June 16th. Again, we'll be watching that day by day. Check out the 7-day significant fire potential here. You can see elevated overall fire environment suggests a moderately high risk for significant fires, 5 to 19% chance. And you can go there and look and see that's NW10, and that's on Tuesday. Whereas NW10, that's Moses Lake, that's Ritzville, that's Spokane, it's the Tri-Cities out there, and some of the, not the east slopes of the Cascades, but just outside of that area. So we do have some fire potential at that time of year there if things line up right and you get thunderstorm activity, or you get some careless people of the public, some civilians out there, or, you know, whatever happens, it's that time where things can start to burn. So have a heads up for that. But yeah, nice looking at the severe clear on the GOES 18 satellite imagery. Just some high clouds. You can see a little bit of low clouds in the northern tip of Vancouver Island. But again, the big storm out over the Pacific Ocean, allowing this ridging to build or giving us our nice weather across the area. But again, watch out across some of southern Oregon for the thunderstorm activity potentially popping up today, tomorrow, and through Sunday across the Cascades, Washington, and eastern Washington as well. But anyway, I hope you guys are having a good day. Otherwise, click like and subscribe. We'll do this again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.